is selfish. Everybody's selfish about something or other. I mean, even the person who donates like $1 million to a charity, that's a selfish act, right? Even though it seems like it's selfless, to him, there is so much reward to that guy who donated that $1 million, right? It's not really a totally selfless act. He's very selfish in his reward that he gets out of that.
Yeah.
So when you think about it in terms like that, the thing that you love to do, that you want to do all the time, just because you want to do that doesn't make you a selfish person. You know, we've just kind of hinted on some of that here. You know, the joy that you get out of doing what you do actually brings joy to other people, you know, and opens their eyes to other things in life. Like you were talking about your wrestling story and the girl who, you know, was very depressed. You know, your joy changed her life. And that's not selfish at all.
But you said it, Marty, when you're talking about, like, when you live authentically, people they just pick up on it. They can feel it, like, in their bones. And there's certain people that just admire that. They love it. They love authenticity. They love, like, man, I wish I could do that. And I'm going to disagree about selfishness, because that selfishness is bad. I'm going to disagree with that part. Selfishness.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
Because I agree that everybody is selfish. And if you pretend that you're not, it goes underground. And when it goes underground, what happens? It comes out in really nasty and ugly ways. And so it's like, just own it and take care of yourself. And Marty, I'd like to hear because I'll be honest, man, I've been kind of glancing at your website, and, you know, I see, you know, health enthusiasts, for example. It's like your health has forced you to be selfish. Yes. Has it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Me
luckily,
too.
I have the girl that I have, because my health's made it very hard to get out of bed. I've been tired, brain fog all the time. It's kind of made me selfish. We're like, babe, I need another couple hours of sleep. And it's not because I'm being lazy. It's just my body needs it. I'm tired. And it's a health thing. Crap, I was going to say now. I can't remember what I was going to say, because I had something. Oh, to your point on social media, I think social media just enlighten or shows the bigger world what's actually there, I think, because there's crappy people out there. There's good people out there. And they're all just telling their own stories. Everything is storytelling, music, acting, movies, what you do at work, as far as us calling people and telling the story, hey, we work for you as for your finances. Everything is a story.
Right.
And the better at telling stories you are, especially on social media nowadays, the more influence you're going to have on people.
Right.
And I feel like the more that influence is authentic, because I don't know if I want to say because you're being selfish or not, but you're actually finding your autonomy. Mm-hmm. The better you are with your autonomy, the more people catch on to that, and the better your story will become and influence more people and make a bigger impact on the world.
Right. Absolutely.
For sure. So that being said, what are the actions? So we like to give people action items, right? I mean, we can sit around and talk all day, and as a therapist, I'm very action oriented.
Love that.
Like talk therapy is good. There's a certain value in just kind of catharsis and like emotional purging. But I always want everyone that I work with to have a plan.
Okay.
And so for the guy out there or the dudes out there that are like, man, how do I get that motorcycle? How do I turn my life into the motorcycle ride? Mm-hmm. Right. What are some of those first steps that they need to take?
Well, in my opinion, I think you should ask people who are close to you, what are some of the things that they see you do all the time that you have joy in? You know, what are some of the things that they have said, oh man, you never looked happier than when you were doing X, Y, or Z, right? Take that into account. The other thing I've noticed is when you look back on your life, try to find those moments where you were really enraptured, that you wasted, you took so much time being consumed by something. What is it that consumed your time that you didn't even notice the time blip by? Ask yourself those kind of questions, because that is where you'll dig into the answers of what lies underneath your autonomy.
And as far as me, I say action steps for me. I'm a very action-oriented guy too. I like making lists. I liked writing down 50 of the things that I enjoyed the most in life, period. Did
you say 50?
Yeah, I say 50.
Wow.
You may not get there, but I say push for 50 because you have to dig. If you say 5.
Yeah.
I like math. I like
that's a softball. Yeah, no, you
Um,
gotta challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself. So I say 50 because that's a list you're gonna have to continue to work on. So I say
Right.
find 50 things of things that you love, anything in the world, and then ask your friends, what do you see me talking more about or getting excited about? And then write at least a 20 bucket list. For my life, I would like to do these things.
Yeah.
At least through that, it's a little bit of a self-discovery project that I do at least once a year. I write down stuff I want to do, what people say I'm good at, and my bucket list. And then if you can combine those together, you're
See
a lot
where they
closer.
overlap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that idea, actually. Yeah. So, and I think that's a great idea, Marty. In fact, I kind of want to do it. So I'm going to challenge some of our listeners out there to do that. Start making your list, and our online community is going to be a great forum for you to share your list with other guys. And don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Put it out there.
Yeah.
And engage with us. And we want to know what guys are up to out there. We want other guys to find their purpose and their passion. Live authentically. Be autonomous. Ride your motorcycle. Do it. It's funny. I just want to share this quick experience. I had this client last week because there's a strong religious influence in this local area. She asked me, she goes, "How do you live in Utah?" And my answer was boldly, unapologetically.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's and truly, to me, that's really the key. Is you will draw in what you want to draw in if you do it boldly and unapologetically. Yeah. Right, Marty?
Absolutely. And it's the stories, I think, that you say out loud. I took something this year that helped me get over bullying. It's the stuff you say out loud that affect and that you create. Yeah. So if I say I'm going to be a professional wrestler, it's weird, but stuff starts happening. Things start falling into place. You start, right. I like this acting stuff. All of a sudden I'm getting these roles.
Right.
Yeah. Be careful about what you say. So if you're putting people down or putting, even worse, yourself down, be careful what you say there too, because stuff starts happening and it's weird. Especially when you write it down or say it.
Yeah.
That's a different topic, but I'm with you 100%. The word, there's power in your words. So be careful. And he talks about this in the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word, because what he says is you will create basically what language you use.
Right.
The language you use has significant power. You just may not realize it. So I'm with you, man.
And I like to reference Glenn Morshower a lot because he's kind of a guru. He blows my mind away. When I got into acting, he would say stuff like, don't pursue an acting career. Have an acting career. Don't pursue being an actor. Be an actor.
Don't pursue being an author. Just be an author.
Right. And then ask yourself things like, what does an author do? What does an actor do? What does a wrestler do? And then do those things, right? You have to take action. You can't just think about it. You can't just ruminate about what are the things you can do. You actually have to sit down at the laptop and start writing your story out. You have to, start working out and get yourself in shape and do stretching and aerobics and, anything that's going to help you be a better wrestler. You have to, start going to acting classes and, push yourself that way and get into plays and be on stage. And, those are the things that are going to affect your life.
Yeah. So we're going to close this up. Any parting shots, guys?
I think I gave mine.
Yeah. You did. Marty.
Honestly, number one, thanks for having me on here, guys. I love this because I think that all of the topics we talked about earlier comes down to really people need to find their purpose and then talk about what they love. Because the more guys like us, we're talking about masculinity, the more guys like my friend who's had something horrible to, the more guys talk about subjects, the easier it'll be for guys who are scared to talk about subjects, actually talk about them and get it out there.
Right? Absolutely. So I hope you'll come back, Marty. You're a good guy to have on here. I like what you have to say.
Yeah. I do have a parting shot. And that parting shot is, a woman is not what is your autonomy. A relationship is not what's going to make you happy or what's your autonomy. A relationship will come to you while you're pursuing your autonomy, and she'll want to be along for the ride, like we talked about with the motorcycle. But the girl is not the motorcycle.
She is not the motorcycle.
No.
Right. She cannot. It is a temporary thrill.
Honestly, I'd rather have my girl riding a motorcycle right next to my side and have the time of her life with me.
Right. But,
Better.
infatuation is a drug. Just because it feels good in the beginning doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. But that's why your life has to be the motorcycle. So.
Right on. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the OrionWay.com. Thanks for joining us, Martin. It's been a pleasure having you. Martin Casaus. I got it.
You got it.
Cashews? Is it cashews?
It's cashew. Exactly. Just ask Mexico.
Yeah, you can check him out on Instagram. You can also check out his website, like we mentioned at the beginning. I'll have that on our website. When you go to check out this podcast, you can read a little bit about him as well. And hopefully we'll have some kind of picture. We'll have a link to his site. And also a link to our Boys Will Be Boys. So if you have a Boys Will Be Boys article that you've read or found out there, send it to us at media@theorionway.com. And have a great week.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me on.